A coalition of farm worker organizations in the Western Cape threatens a complete shutdown of all agricultural work in the province from today. And Gauteng's Premier Nomvula Mokonyane and Housing MEC Ntombi Mechwe implicate the country's banks in the land sale saga in Lenasia, south of Joburg. I'm Richard Brooks. A coalition of farm worker organizations in the Western Cape is threatening a complete shutdown of all agricultural work in the province from today. The coalition says today's mass action is in solidarity with the workers of the Durins, whose strike is now entering its second week. The coalition, which includes Women on Farms Project, Sekule Sonke and Kusatu, says there will be work stoppages and pickets in the farming areas of Wellington, Robertson and the West Coast. Here's Kusatu's Provincial Secretary Tony Ehrenreich.
We could see a complete shutdown of all agriculture in the Western Cape. Workers are going to be having protests and pickets at their workplaces to show their employers that they're unhappy about the 70 Rand a day and that they want the 150 Rand a day as the only way in which they can take care of their families and ensure that their kids also have prospects for the future.
Gauteng's Premier Nomvula Mokonyane and Housing MEC Ntombi Mechwe have implicated the country's banks in the land sale saga in Lenasia, south of Johannesburg. Meanwhile, the Hawks are investigating 10 cases of fraud related to the saga. Mokonyane says 7 people have been arrested for selling land illegally to people who've erected homes in the area. The Gauteng Housing Department has demolished 51 of the homes, but has stopped carrying out further demolitions following a court order yesterday. Mokonyane explains.
Several developers were implicated for the illegal sale of land. The implicated included one Richard Zikali and his wife Hlengiwe Klimba. Ms. Klimba has since entered into a plea bargaining with the state and was sentenced to 6-year imprisonment with a 3-year suspended sentence.
The Kuga municipality has described the fire in St. Francis Bay in the Eastern Cape as the most devastating in the small town's history. The area faces a bleak festive season after 76 houses, many of them holiday homes, were destroyed by Sunday night's fire. The cause of the fire has not yet been established. Mop-up operations are continuing. The resort town's economy is heavily dependent on holiday visitors. Fire and rescue head Yapi Janssen.
This is a fire-prone area. Kuga, this municipal area is prone to fire disasters. And we had severe fires in the past, but this was one of the worst.
St. Francis Bay resident and volunteer firefighter Eric Stewart.
Once a fetch goes, you can't stop it. And gas bottles were exploding, houses were exploding. I've never seen a house explode in my life.
Suspended National Prosecuting Authority prosecutor Glenys Breitenbach will apply to the Bargaining Council in Centurion today for the overturning of her 8-month suspension. She was suspended as regional head of the NPA's Specialized Commercial Crime Unit in April. Breitenbach has argued that Acting National Director of Public Prosecutions, Nomqobo Jiba, suspended her to try and stop her from prosecuting former police crime intelligence boss Richard Mdluli on fraud charges. Breitenbach has pleaded not guilty to all 16 charges that the NPA has brought against her. Her internal disciplinary hearing is set to resume next year.